Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everybody. Wow, welcome, everybody. Post comments in the comment section below if you are here. Post your comments in the section below, guys. I'm welcoming everybody. I see Sai is here. Welcome, Sai. How are you? Hello, Rodney. Hello. Thank you for coming. I just want to thank everybody for coming, and I'm going to start on time, guys, and the other people can come in as they come into the live stream. So I just want to introduce myself for those people who do not know me. I always start by saying hello to my goal-inspired, ambitious career professionals. And if you are on the live show, or if you're here for the first time, I'm just going to introduce myself to you. My name is Yvonne Robinson Jackson. I'm just coming up so that you can see me on the screen. I just want to let you know that I'm running solo. So if I have to click here and click there, I am running solo today. But I'm really happy to talk today about how to find jobs fast, right? Using my comprehensive job searching strategy. So I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I am Yvonne Robinson Jackson. I'm an international career transformation coach. Why international? Because I work with people from all over the world. And I own goalinspiredcareercoaching.com. It's an incorporation. And I have the Career Advancement Club on Facebook. Why career advancement? Because I am not just working with people who are just looking to find a job. That is not what I'm here for. I would like to work with people who want a transformation, who wants to be the best in their career. I've had a very successful career. I was 15 years in the staffing industry at a company in Ottawa called MindWire Systems. I started as a senior technical recruiter there until they found a job for me as senior recruitment executive, and then they promoted me to the senior director of recruiting, sales, and proposal. I had a very wonderful career. I stayed at that job and watered it, and until I reached the top. So I went from the help desk to the executive desk. I have a lot of experience. Whatever you guys are experiencing, I have experienced. I am an immigrant. I came from Jamaica in 2000. I was a university lecturer in Jamaica, and when my ex-husband wanted to come here, wherever thou goest, I will go, says Ruth in the Bible. So I followed and I came here. Was not really happy about that, but when I came here, I embraced it. Okay, and I started from I went straight into Algonquin. Quickly tell you that. And I did a course in information technology. I've been in the information technology industry for over 20 years. I was finding very lucrative positions for people in the Canadian federal government and the private sector. So just to let you know that I have done this before, and I have walked where you have walked. I have looked for jobs. Well, there was a time when it took me 8 months to find a job. So I know where you're coming from, but I have a lot of experience looking at resumes. I've looked at thousands of resumes. I've written thousands of resumes, but I just want to let you know that there's one thing I don't do. I'm not a done for you person. I do not write resumes for people. I teach them how to write their own resumes, because I think done for you is not my thing. I would prefer to teach you how to fish rather than to give you a fish. So guys, I see here, I have Rodney. Hello, Rodney. And I want to say also hello to Sai. Sai, thank you for coming. And I have Susanna here. I thank you for coming. And I just want to get straight in to tell you what I do now. I help career professionals rebrand and reposition their career in an expert way, virtually and in person. right? I want them to stand out. So I have a 4-factor approach to help you guys to gain your career clarity. A lot of the people who I meet, I realize that they do not know what they want to be. So we're going to talk about that today, and how to create, and I help them to create their dream career, how to communicate that. And then when you have that job, how are you going to elevate? Because I elevated, as I tell you, I went from the help desk. After I did Algonquin, I had a help desk. I had a service desk, not really help desk, a service desk at EDS. You might have remembered EDS. EDS became HP, and I worked there. And after I left there, I didn't have a job for 8 months, and then I went back out into the industry, and I got the job as a recruiter. So, and I moved up to senior recruitment executive and senior director. So that's what I want to tell you today. So we are going to talk about, without further ado, guys, how to find jobs fast with my comprehensive job searching strategy blueprint. And before I get into that, I just want to find out where people are tuning in from. Where are you tuning in from? Put some comments below there, guys. Let me see where you're tuning in from. Where are you from? Hello, my friend Daria Market. Oh my God, Daria is here. I'm so happy to see Daria. I met Daria about maybe 10 years ago. Wow. And I met her in my office because the kind of work we do, guys, the kind of work that we do, we always meet our consultants face to face, and Daria was my consultant. I'm so happy to see Daria. Oh my God, I'm ecstatic here. And Diana is here. Hi, Diana. Wow, wonderful, wonderful. I have a lot of people tuning in from Ottawa. Woohoo! Hello, Daria. I'm so happy to see you. Daria is a very, very senior IT specialist. So I'm really happy that you guys are here. So I just want to get into the thing. But before I actually get there, I just want to tell you, I left Mindwire last month, and I've been doing a lot of things, guys. And I'm just going to quickly give you a little bit of a rundown of what I've been doing for the last month. As I said, I built up a business over the last month, and I have my own website. So I'm just going to add this to the stream, and you can see this right now. It is here. It is here. Check it out. Goal-inspired career coaching.com. The ultimate career growth formula training course and personal, professional, one-on-one career coaching. Because we believe that career goals are life goals. So stand out. Own your confidence to get hired and advance in your career. So stand out, own your confidence, get hired to advance in your career, gain career clarity, discover your core strengths. What is unique to you and how you work best. Then create your best dream career by examining and analyzing your skills and interests and continuously improve your critical skills so you can communicate, build your network, and communicate your unique value proposition in order to elevate to be the best in your career. That's advertising that I have a website. It's called goalinspiredcareercoaching.com. And after this live stream, you can go there and there are some goodies there. You can grab the presentation, that part of the presentation that I'm going to do today. You can grab a part of that, right? So that would be very wonderful. All right. So today we are talking about the comprehensive job searching strategy. I actually have a video on YouTube with a comprehensive job searching strategy. It is the first video that I produced. So I am going to, it is a larger version of what I'm doing today. And if you grab the comprehensive job searching strategy of my, of my website, you're going to see the video, which is this one that I created. That was my first video, guys. I was starting before I'm ready. So that is what I teach career professionals, that you should start before you're ready. You got to start somewhere. So that was my first video. I edited, I did everything in iMovie, and that was my first video. But it was very comprehensive, guys. A lot of people have used it to find jobs, right? So we're just going to talk today about the 10 factors to consider when you're job searching. Okay. Now, when you're job searching, I have met with people and they're looking for jobs on LinkedIn and everywhere, and they do not understand. I said, what kind of job you're looking for? And they don't know. So the first thing that you have to do, you need to know what kind of job that you are looking for. Okay. So how do you know what kind of job you're looking for? You got to know what kind of job you're looking for. So is there anybody in the audience here who is looking for a job and can't quite figure out what they want or what they're looking for? It would be very interesting to know, guys. Drop a comment in there and let me know. If you're looking for a job and you're confused, if you're looking for a job and you are confused, then you got to let me know, because I was there. The reason why I was confused at the time is because I have a multiplicity of skills. A multiplicity of skills. I was an accountant when I came to Canada. Because I work with the government of the Cayman Islands in the Treasury. I was a teacher, a lecturer at a university. I was a sales manager, and I was an IT analyst. So when you're looking for a job and you have so many skills, you're confused. So if you are there, let me know. Don't be shy. Let me know if you're confused, and I will help you to deal with the confusion. Because what I'm here to do is to help you, not for you to not say anything. Okay, so I have Rodney. Okay, so Rodney, we can work on that. So the first thing that you have to do, if you have many skills, a multiplicity of skills, and are not sure of the job that you could get, if you're job searching, then if you're in between jobs, if you're in between jobs, you're going to list all the skills that you have. And you're going to have to figure out, of all those skills, which one you do best. Which of those skills you do best. You also have to list all your transferable skills, your communication skills, and all that. And last week we dealt with the resume. So we're not going to go into the resume right now. I have lots of resources on YouTube that tells you how to build your resume that is going to be like an interview generating machine. You have to know how to write your resume. Today is going to be telling you how to network to get the job. So the first week we built our LinkedIn profile. Today last week we built the resume. So if you didn't catch those, you catch those on YouTube, Goal Inspired Career Coaching. That's my YouTube channel. Today we want to talk about how you are going to network to find that job. So you decide on what job you want. So if you know what job if you don't know, you're going to list those skills and figure out which one you do best. You can go through the different jobs that you have done. So we always talk about your zone of genius. You hear everybody talking about zone of genius. What is your zone of genius? Your zone of genius is those skills that you have, the core skills, plus those transferable skills and those skills that you develop that nobody has. And let me explain a little bit about that. When I was at my last job, because I was a teacher in the past, what I did with that job, I helped people, I taught people, I mentored people, I created training courses. So I was not just recruiting, I was also mentoring, and I was also training. And when I meet career professionals like my friend Daria, who is on there, she's very senior, she's very high level, you know. These are the big guys, right? These are the big guys that I talk about who make big money. When I meet people like that, when they are growing in their career, when I'm coaching them, I can talk to them about those transferable skills, the skills that make them different. The skills that made me different was that I already knew how to mentor and teach. So you're not going to find every recruiter be the same recruiter. Some recruiters have some other skills that they brought to bear on the job. So that is your zone of genius. So it makes my delivery different. It makes my delivery when I meet a consultant who wants some coaching, because recruiters don't normally coach, it makes me different. So when you're doing your job, you go to your job and every day you're working, and people say, do this or do that, or you could find some things to do on the job. You don't do it because you say, okay, they didn't hire me to do that. That's not how it works. The way it works is that you're going to use those skills, because remember, I started out, everybody knows my mantra that everybody is a business of one. So that is what. So the job, you have to know what job you are looking for. Once you know the job you're looking for, now you're focused. That is your focus. However, if you're in between jobs, you can have more than one jobs that you're good at, right? So for example, when I was looking at my last job, which I stayed for 15 years, guys, so it's a long time I hadn't looked for a job, I could do accounting. I could do IT stuff, right? Technical analyst. So I was building more than one resumes to direct myself to those jobs, because you're in between jobs. And trust me, when you're in between jobs, it's really a hard thing to figure out where to go. However, if you're an IT specialist, say a project manager or a business analyst, and you know what you're looking for, then you already have a defined focus, right? Okay, so one thing that you should make sure that if you are working in, I hope I can say this, if you're working in a factory doing inventory, right? And you were doing, and you also do some of the, I don't want to call them low-level tasks, but you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you have to lift boxes and you can do this and you can do that. But that is not your main job. Just ensure that when you're looking for a job, your resume don't speak to those things. It speaks to the more high-level things. If you are working in a job and you want a different kind of job, write your resume not for the job that you have, but for the job that you want. And how are you going to do that? So I'm belaboring the focus here a little bit, and I'm all over the place a little bit, but how do you do that? Okay, so I helped a gentleman one time. He was a help desk analyst, and I helped him to grow to become a business analyst. And this is what I did. The jobs that he had in the help desk, he was doing business analysis. He was doing a lot of analytical things. Most of the work he was doing was analytical. So help desk probably was about 25%, but they called him a help desk analyst. So he wanted to be a business analyst, and he was looking for a business analyst job. What do you think I told him to do? Decrease the focus that you're putting on the help desk, say less, and increase the focus that you're looking at the business analyst, because if you want help desk, you'll still be a help desk analyst. So that is one big thing that you guys must know. If you are looking for a job, you prepare your resume for the job you want and not the job you have. So if he's gonna look for business analyst, he's not gonna put in his resume or on his LinkedIn profile that he's a help desk analyst. He's gonna talk to his manager, he's gonna talk to people around him, and just make sure they understand that the work he's doing is analytical. He's going to change his profile to say he is a business analyst. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. And I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to ask you, just tell me, are you understanding what I'm saying? Does it make sense? Okay, Rodney is a little bit confused with that. So Rodney, let me explain that. If you are, that was a good example, right? Okay, look at an application tester. Most application testers, the very senior ones, do a lot of analysis. Most of the road to becoming a business analyst, if you're an is either an application tester or some kind of analytical work, because they already understand application, but they are already doing a lot of analytical work. So when you are looking for a job, you're looking for a job as a business analyst and not an application tester. Why would you write your resume to say you are an application tester? You are a business analyst stroke application tester or application analyst, so that somebody will see you on LinkedIn, or somebody, when you send your resume to them, they will understand that you are all an application tester, but you're also a business analyst. Because when people write job descriptions, they write the job description for the job that they have. And if they have a business analyst job and you're an application tester and you're going for it, if that's what you want, you're not going to get it. Okay? So I'd just like you to drop a comment there. Does that make any sense to you guys? Does that make any sense, Rodney? Does that make sense? That you can actually double barrel your title like that? Right? Who's talking to me here? All right. Can you let me know if it makes any sense? More4, how are you? More4, am I making sense? Okay, good. Now I'm glad that you understand with a little bit more explanation, because it is not so easy to think that way as a job seeker, right? As a job, okay, Mr. Jackson says it makes sense to him. So as a job seeker, you are looking for a job. Okay, Rodney says great advice. Thanks, Rodney. Okay. So you are looking for a job. You have to look for the job that you are looking the job that you want, the job title. Remember, I say to people, job titles don't mean anything. And I said it the last time when we were talking about resumes. You could be in Bell Canada and you could be in TELUS and you could be doing the same tasks, but in TELUS they call it something else, and in Bell Canada they call it something else. All right, More4 says yes. Thank you, More4. Yes. So they call it something else. So job titles do not mean anything. What means something is the task and the accomplishments and the things that you're going to do. Okay. So I belabored that one a little bit because I want you to know, if you're applying for a job, you have to make sure you apply for the job you want and not the job that you have. If you want apply for the job that you have, you're going to continue getting the job that you have. The other thing too, if you are leaving school, some of you are leaving school and university, and you're applying for a job, and you go and you write on your resume all the things that you have done other than the job that you're applying for. Another way that you can figure out how to write your resume based on, and as I said, today was not for resume, but I know a lot of people are confused with this, how to write your resume based on the job that you're looking for. You go to Indeed, you go to Monster, you go to LinkedIn, look at job descriptions that describe the position that you're looking for. Then you take those positions and you look at the work that you have done, and you say to yourself, have I done this? Have I done that? Oh, yes, I've done it, but I never thought of saying it like that. Then you work some of those information in your resume in your own words, guys. You have to think like a hiring manager, and you have to think like a recruiter. And don't you ever think that you are going to give me a resume. I always say to people, when you give me your resume, make sure it's dummy proof. Pretend that you're giving your resume to Yvonne and she's a dummy, because Yvonne cannot read what is in your head. All right. So just remember that when you write your resume, you don't write it for you. You write it for the person who is going to read it. That is why acronyms have to be spelled out. Okay. Things like that. We go back to the old English saying that you write it out, then you put it in bracket at least once. So remember all those things. Okay. Another thing why that will be good for you. People talk about ATS friendly resumes. And by the way, I'm at number 2. It looks like I'm on the resume. So we talk about the job focus. You have to focus and know the job you're looking for. Then you have to write your best resume. And because we talked about resume last week, we're not going to go into the details of the sections of the resume. I'm just generalizing today. The resume has to speak to the job that you're looking for. So we went about that last week. We talk about the master resume. We talk about the resume that you're using for prospecting. That when you just send it to people on LinkedIn or send it to people who you're looking to hire you. And we talk about the targeted resume, which is going to be focused. So we talked about that last week. If you're here and you did not get that live, then you go and watch it on YouTube. And just to say at this time, this one is not being shown on YouTube because I made a mistake today and deleted it from YouTube. So I'm going to have to put the replay on YouTube. So I'm streaming live now, not on YouTube, but on LinkedIn and on Facebook. So we talk about the resume. All right. So just generally speaking, if you're still confused about the resume, last week live will clear up a lot of things. And the next one, you're going to network. All right. So how are you going to network? Now I'm going to just scroll down here a little bit, and I'm going to show my screen here, scroll down to the end of this thing to what I call, skipping around there, the LinkedIn Hub Blueprint. I created that LinkedIn Hub Blueprint. And the reason why I created this is that when my daughter got her PhD, and I didn't even tell her, I was a little bit concerned at the time when she was looking for a job, because it must be the hardest job to find when you just get your PhD. Because some people think you're too qualified. Some people think you're not too qualified enough. Some people think you're going to want too much money. Some people are intimidated. So that is just human being. People judge. So I helped her, and she found a job after she started looking in a month. And last year, I decided that when I was helping other people reaching out to me on LinkedIn, I gave them the same principle, the same context. Most of them came back to me, they found job in 3 weeks. There's a guy right now working at Mitel. He went in for a level 1 job. They ended up getting level 3 because of the whole strategy. Okay. So when you're looking for a job, don't listen to people and say, don't go to Glassdoor, don't go to Monster, and don't go to sites. Only go to LinkedIn. No. When I was in the recruiting industry for all those years, when I get a requirement, the first place I went to was Monster and Indeed, because we use that a lot. Because I felt that when people are looking for a job, first they're going to update it and put it there, because LinkedIn has right now 1 million people. And I want somebody quickly. You think I'm going to find the person in a couple of hours? But if I go on Indeed and somebody just put their resume up there and I do my search, I'm going to be filling my job. Remember, I have a job to do. I have to fill jobs. I have to place people, right? That's a part of my job. So I call it the LinkedIn Hub Blueprint. Indeed, job searching sites are your best friend. Why? Because it gives you information for your resume. You know who is hiring too, right? LinkedIn is great too. LinkedIn has a lot of companies they're hiring, but not every job is posted on LinkedIn. Not every job is posted on Monster. I used to like some of these ones because they are very robust sites. Not every job is here, right? Not every job is here. So when you put your resume and get the alerts, then you know when the job comes down and you can look at them and apply right away. And you also spend some time on LinkedIn. So when you go to those sites, Listen, guys, don't just apply for the job and leave it alone and hope that somebody is going to reach out to you. They might. That is why they say it's hard to get jobs that way. Then you take your efforts. You see my little arrows? Those are my arrows. You go to company sites, you go to job searching sites, and there are more. My little framework here could only hold 3 of them because I want it to look beautiful. And you take your efforts back to LinkedIn. And why? This is how you're going to search. If you don't do this, you're not finding any job because it's hard, right? You go to LinkedIn, and today we're not going to write the message either. There's a way to write the message. When you go to LinkedIn, you look for the companies, right? Bell Canada. Why do I like talk about Bell Canada? Rogers, give me my internet. You go back to the companies, guys, and you find the people. Find HR, find people who are working in the companies and send them messages, right? You reach out, do your reaching out. And a lot of times too, another thing that I would like to tell you guys, that when you are looking for a job, if you are a career professional, I call every career professional a business person. Because I believe that I'm a business. I work at my job and I treated my job like a business. I call myself a business of one. And I treated my job as a business. That's why I used to update my LinkedIn profile so often. Because my LinkedIn profile was a part of my promotional tool. My resume was a part of my promotional tool. Right? So I have to have these things. I got to have these things, guys, so that just like a company, when you're promoting, you're not going to be promoting with old information. And another thing too, where you're going to be using LinkedIn a lot is that you are going to ensure that you keep you if you know that you're in let me see what industry, the telecommunications industry, and that is your domain, then you're going to develop relationship with people in the telecommunications industry. Just like with my consultants here in government, they develop relationship with other government departments, with other consultants in the government, so that when times comes and they're looking for a job, they have some connections. Because the way I'm having my I need to turn off this so that I need to turn that off. Okay, so I was getting too much pings coming over from LinkedIn. I'm busy on LinkedIn. So that you develop relationships. So that is what LinkedIn is all about, guys. We tell people to go on LinkedIn and develop relationships. And you like something, nobody's going to remember. Sometimes you got to comment too, and you go into those companies, you develop relationship with people at Bell Canada, relationship with people at Rogers, relationship with people at whatever the other names of those companies are, so that one day when you need a job, so you're building your network and your relationships. You're also building relationships with recruiters. Okay? Build relationship with recruiters. Because if you know the different recruiters in your industry, build relationship with recruiters, right? So there are different kinds of recruiters, and I'm going to talk about that in one of my lives, so that you guys don't understand that every recruiter is the same. Every recruiter is not the same. There are recruiters from places like Amazon, which are corporate recruiters, and there are recruiters from places like Mindwire, which are agency recruiters, right? So you have to know what you're doing, right? So let me go back to LinkedIn. The reason why I brought up the recruiter thing, we're talking about networking. You have to build relationship with recruiters. You have to build relationship with companies, the people in the companies that you'd like to work with. So when you're job searching and you're going to Glassdoor and you're going to Indeed and Monster and the other companies, you are going to ensure that you take your efforts to LinkedIn and you find the people, send them nice messages. And if you can't reach a hiring manager, there must be somebody in the company. You go and search through LinkedIn and look who else work in the company, so that you can ensure that you're reaching out to to some people. So I just want to, Shivani was saying that recruiters compete against each other. I just want to do a quick comment on that. It depends. It depends. If you're working with an agency, there's internal competition, there's external competition. If you work with a good company, internal competition is healthy, right? If you're working with, but I just wanted to say that the recruiters were different because agency recruiters, it is easier sometimes to build the relationship with agency recruiters, because if you just wait until you want a job, some of them, I hear people on LinkedIn talking a lot about ghosting and all that, because they don't have a relationship with you. I never ghost any of my people. I kept relationships with people like Daria and some big consultants in the government that I place, and some that I haven't placed. I have worked with people, and 5 years after I met them, I placed them, right? But the essence of what I'm trying to tell you here is the networking happens a lot here. And when you're looking for a job, just ensure that you let everybody know that you're looking for a job. Don't be shy, right? If a company is selling something, they're not shy. So if you treat your life as a business, your career as a business, when you're looking for a job, you won't be shy, because you're thinking, okay, this is my business and I have to communicate. How are you going to communicate your offer? How are you going to talk to people if you don't do that, right? So that is very important, guys. My LinkedIn Hub Blueprint says you go to the job searching sites, you can apply for the jobs there, but you also take it back to LinkedIn and make the personal connection. Everybody I helped since the pandemic found their job where? On LinkedIn. All of them. Because they did what I said. One lady said when she spoke with the gentleman, she pivoted industries. And when she got the job, and she said, if I hadn't reached out to you, would you have called me for the job, even though I had applied? He said no. So you have to understand that LinkedIn is not just, a little thing. LinkedIn is huge. LinkedIn is very huge, guys. So you have to make sure that you do it the right way, right? So I just want to find out, is there anything, guys, that I have said that resonated with you right now? Anything that resonates? Right? Anything that resonates there? Or, did you know all this stuff before? Is there anything new here? Put a comment, drop a comment there, let me know. Because you know what? I'm talking in here like to the mic. I'm talking to the mic, guys. So you gotta have a drop. Yeah, you gotta drop a comment and let me know. And Shavoni, I thank you for saying that. And you know what? I'm gonna have another live that talk about recruiting and recruiters and the different types of recruiters and how you to build those relationships. Okay, guys. So we are gonna deal with that another time. But today, man, I just want to tell you about, how to network. This is the heart of it, guys. What I call my LinkedIn Hub Blueprint. I came up with that, right? It's not popular. It's not anywhere yet, but it's the real deal. It is the real deal. That's how my daughter found her job. After she got her PhD, she went to LinkedIn. I told her exactly what to do. She went everywhere. She listened to me and she found her job. Less than a month, PhD. Okay. Last year, everybody I spoke with, everybody I helped, I said, I talked to them after they get the job, because I'm busy on LinkedIn. On Mondays, I go on LinkedIn. If anybody ever message me on Mondays on LinkedIn, I shout them out and say, how is it going? And all that stuff. Especially if I have, about jobs and all that. Right. So I want to find out, especially if they're looking for a job, I keep in touch with them and I find out, how is it going? Have you found a job yet? What are you doing? Right. Paid or unpaid, I don't care. I'm just here to help everybody, okay? So just remember my LinkedIn Hub Blueprint. LinkedIn is the hub, and all the job searching sites and the companies are out here. So we work with the LinkedIn Hub Blueprint. So that is how you're going to hustle. And it's not easy, right? And just remember, last year, the first 2 weeks ago, we talked about how to update your LinkedIn profile and all that. Remember, just make sure that your LinkedIn profile is in sync with your resume. So that's why I did LinkedIn first and I did the resume. And now we're talking about the networking. Okay. So just ensure that the stuff that you have on LinkedIn is kind of in sync with your resume. You're not going to put your whole resume on LinkedIn, but you want to make sure that you come off as credible, right? Because that day when you need that job, guys, people will judge you. People say that they don't judge people. Trust me, we all judge. We all judge in some way, some worse than others, right? So when you're reaching out to people, that is why we have not talked about elevator pitch and communicating, but that is why you need to have what we call an elevator pitch or a way of reaching out to people. Last week, we talked about the career summary, kind of a part of your career summary, right? Your elevator pitch. That's what you're going to need in order to reach out to people. So when you're making connections, you have to reach out to potential employees, right? I have something here that I wanted to say. I haven't said this word in a long time. I call it your snap. Snap, super networking at an accelerated pace. You're going to have to go and say what you do. You have to know, first of all, who you are. That's why we talk at the top about know the job you want. Know who you are. Then you have to know what you do and who you help. So that is, last week we talked about the profile summary. You see how everything connects together? LinkedIn, your resume, your networking, your elevator pitch. It's not rocket science, guys. It all connects. If you have a good profile summary and have that professional statement, which I call your profile summary is your crowning glory. If you have that, then you can reach out to anybody. So you go back to my last live and learn how to write and look up what I said about profile summary. I have a video on YouTube that talks about how to write your profile summary. Your profile summary is your crowning glory. And you can use that profile summary and repurpose it into your elevator pitch when you're reaching out to people. So don't do like what some people do to me on LinkedIn. Please, I ignore it. Hello, ma'am. How are you? No, I'm a busy woman. I don't have time. I am happy. I am happy. I am happy. I am happy. It doesn't matter. What are you reaching out to me for? So you want to tell me why you're reaching out to me. So there's a way to write those. I don't have the time today to go through how to write your message, but the message is important. So you learn to write your message to reach out. And if you don't know how to write the message, you go to YouTube and watch how to get jobs using LinkedIn. I have a video. So the message is important, and the way you write the message is important because the person will don't waste your time and just go into somebody's and say hello. Then you wait for how are you? Now listen, people are busy, especially I was a senior director at the company and people are reaching out to me, hello ma'am, how are you? Okay, don't do that. Say be what you are looking for. You have to learn how to communicate. Nobody's going to hire you if nobody wants to hire anybody who cannot communicate. So just show them that you can communicate. Okay, guys, if you know me very well, guys, I am what you see is what you get. And I am very, I am very candid. I will tell you the truth. I'm not going to put any rose-colored glasses on anything. And I'm not going to pretend that it's a rose when it's a thorn. I am here to help you guys. And I want to know that you're doing it the right way. So if you're reaching out to anybody on LinkedIn, craft a sensible message. Just tell them what you're looking for. And also, another thing that you need to have is your elevator pitch. And most people know what an elevator pitch is, but I'm not going to assume that you know everything. It is kind of a pitch that you make. Like if you meet somebody in the elevator and you're going to say, hello, how are you? And you want to tell them what you do, that's your elevator pitch. You say who you are, what you do, and for whom, and You know, you could even say the results, but you could say, do you know anybody who's looking for such and such a person? And that is called the call to action and ask, right? So if you go to my YouTube channel, there is something there, right? So I don't have to repeat that. You need to have an elevator pitch ready. You need to have a LinkedIn message ready, right? Because this is not the day when we send snail mail. No snail mail going on here, guys. We used to send snail mail and wait a week. No, we are reaching out to people and we're expecting that they're going to get back to you. So another thing that you need to do is, and I'm going to go back and talk about the company search. So you're going to, we're only at hustle. We just hustled. So company search, conduct a company search. You're going to search for the companies that you would like to work with. That's all that means, right? And if you're looking for a job, for those people who are working and who are not working, if you are working, have a plan, right? Because, work is already tiring. How you're going to search for a job and you're working? It's hard. So you're going to come with a plan on which days that you're going to search, and just come with a focus plan and say how many companies you're going to reach out to, how many people you're going to reach out to on that day, and so on. I also have a schedule in my program that I help people with, right? How many people you're going to reach out to, which companies you're going to reach out to, and all that. So you develop a plan, right? And you're also going to, if you are not working, you have to treat this like a job, okay? So if you're not working right now, guys, you should have a job. And the job is to find a job, okay? So you're going to make sure every day you plan your day out, right? So you're going to do a schedule of what you're going to do every day. You're going to put in time for rest. You're going to put in time for rest, guys. You have to sharpen this saw or else you'll burn out, okay? All right. So is there anybody here who have anything to say about this? Anybody here looking for a job, or anybody here without a job and looking for a job? Straight up. Who is here looking for a job? Say if you are looking for a job, maybe there's somebody on the stream who know about jobs, Right? If you're looking for a job and you don't have a job, then make it a business. Map out your week. Say what you're going to do on each day. Put time in for other things, for your exercise and for dealing with family and so on. How many hours per day you're going to job search on LinkedIn and job sites, and how many people you're going to reach out. Just make sure that you do a purposeful, focus, goal-inspired job search, okay? I'm all about goals, guys. I'm all about goals. So the next thing is the company search. So on what in your schedule, you're going to put that. You're going to post your resume. People say don't post your resume. You know what? If you don't have a job, you're going to do all of it. And it's not a big deal if you have your resume, if you apply for the job. Apply for the job and leave it there. No, you take your efforts back to LinkedIn. Okay, so you're going to go on your favorite job site, you put your resume in there, and if you get called back from a recruiter or so on, fine. But if you see a job on Indeed or on Monster and it's not on LinkedIn, you go to LinkedIn and you go connect with people, do it the proper way, right? Craft your message. Ask your husband, your boyfriend, your daughter to read it over. Don't just go put it in Word. Just don't type it into LinkedIn with all the mistakes, although you can correct it on the fly. But just ensure that you craft your best message. Listen, you're a company of one, right? If Home Depot put out bad product or bad communication, we criticize them, okay? So just think about you are a business of one, okay? And you're going to apply for some jobs. Now you apply for the jobs, and then you are going to make sure you have voicemail. All right? Okay, because last week we talked about the resume, and I talked about how important it was to have the contact information at the top. And the reason why I mentioned it, it looks like very trivial thing, but the reason why I mentioned it, guys, is because I've seen resumes without the contact information. And if you don't have the contact information, the person forgot, right? You can't have a resume without contact information. So you set up your voicemail so that if somebody reaches out to you, you can reach out back to them, right? You're going to know your salary expectation. This live is not about salary, but I'd love to do a live about salary negotiation, because if anybody who knows me talk to you, they're going to tell you that I am the best negotiator. I know how to negotiate like a pro. And I can tell you all that stuff, guys. That's why I built this channel, right? So you have to know your salary expectation. Don't go looking for a job and don't know what money. You know, you have to figure that out. So take down my 10-point list here so that when you're looking for a job, you know you have all the bases covered. All right? That makes sense? You got to be confident and be focused. And that is in everything, you got to be confident. If you go to look for a job and you say, okay, I'm too dark skinned, I'm not going to get a job, they're not going to hire me there. Of course, they're not going to hire you there. If you go to look for a job and you say, I'm too old, nobody's hiring old people, then nobody's going to hire you. Nobody's going to hire you if you're young and not energetic. Okay? All right. Let me know, guys. Do you think of all those biases, you have to rid your mind of all those limiting beliefs? All right. Okay. So drop a comment here and let me know. Do you think, guys, that limiting beliefs can prevent you from getting a job? I need a comment on this one. Anybody on this live show believes that limiting beliefs can prevent you from getting a job? Just let me know. If you think you're not going to get the job, are you going to get the job? Drop a comment. Let me know, guys. Right? Let me know. I want somebody to let me know. This is a very, you're not giving away anything here. If you tell me, if you think the limiting beliefs, yeah, for sure. I love you, girl. Rodney, thank you. Thank you. I have to look up this lady. Thank you for your engagement. So if you think, for example, if you think that you're not going to get the job, you're not getting it, I can tell you that. Right. You have to train. Shavoni says, I really like this woman, Gotta find her on LinkedIn. You gotta train your mind to think a certain way and your body will follow. You have to believe, because number one, if you don't believe you're going to get the job, don't even bother to start. Right? If you don't believe you can get a promotion in your company, don't even try, because it's energy. What you think and believe will come. And I did the analogy last week. I said, if you ever go buy a Benz or a BMW or any new car, and as soon as you go out on the road, honestly, it looks like everybody in the city have the same car. It's like it flows, right? So that's a very dynamic way to think, because if you have to train your mind to think a certain way. And another thing, make sure that you, oh, thank you, Shivani. Shivani says she's a fan. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. All right. So just make sure that if you're going to something, you're all in. That's all I'm saying, right? Just make sure that you're all in. If you're looking for a job and nothing is impossible, it might not happen in your time, but it's going to happen. And you have to believe that, right? As you can see, I came here intelligent. We're all intelligent. I came here as a lecturer. I wasn't looking for a job as a lecturer, right? But people would tell me, even nobody's going to hire you at 50. My last job, I got it when I was 50. Okay, so I'm saying that if you are on this live right now, if you have been there, I have been there. Right? Multiplicity of skills, age, ethnicity. Some people will say, if you're Black, you're not going to get a job. When I was leaving Jamaica, my preacher told me that he would not go to another country to be a second-class citizen. And I'm telling you, I live in Canada and I'm no second class, baby. I am first class. Okay? 100%. So don't listen to those voices. If you want to be the senior director of something, the general manager of somewhere, you will become, right? Regardless of what, but it has to start somewhere. So that's why we're doing the comprehensive job searching strategy. So let us get back. Set up voicemail, know your salary expectation. You have to be confident and focused. You have to be, right? So don't listen to the voices. Don't listen to your brother, uncle, sister, auntie, nobody. Okay? You have to keep your focus if that's what you want. That is why my program and my Facebook, and for those people who are here who would like to join my Facebook group, it is called, oh, where is it? Facebook. I think I have it scrolling down there. It is called facebook.com groups Career Advance. So it is called the Career Advancement Club on Facebook, not the Career Club. I think there's one there called the Career Club. I want mine for people who are looking to up level and advance in their career. There are enough groups around for people who are just looking for a job. What I'm trying to do here is the people who are looking for a job and want to move up in their job, who want to gain their career clarity, to create their dream career, to communicate and build their network and communicate their unique value proposition and to elevate and transform into what they want to be. Those are the people I am with. My group on Facebook is very new, right? So what I want to build it out, because I have some senior, I would love Daria to be in that group too, because I have some senior people who are going to be mentors to some more junior people, because there are some junior people who like mentors. People reach out to me on LinkedIn and ask me if I know anybody who could be a mentor. You know, mentoring it takes time, right? And people are not just going to mentor you like that for free. So the best way to scale it is to have a group where other people can help me to mentor other people, right? So the other thing too is be confident was number 9. 10, be patient. When you reach out to somebody on LinkedIn, remember that not everybody's email address is aligned to their LinkedIn address, right? Not everybody is aligned. So just remember that when you reach out to somebody on LinkedIn, they might not see the message right away, or if they read the message, they might not respond right away. Sometimes I read messages and I wait until I can think and craft a proper response. Sometimes I respond right away. Sometimes I wait. So that's another thing that you should always remember. And I just want to go quickly over to this. Now, this was my 10 point, but I have a simpler one that I start out with the 4 steps, right? Which doesn't go into the 10 point, but my other YouTube channel goes into it. So if you want this, it is on our website as a freebie. Create a winning resume, winning job search strategy, interview with confidence, and create a negotiate. Those are some of the things that you need to do. Also, we don't go into deep here, but I have that freebie for you, right? So I just have a nice freebie PDF, and I'm just going to scroll through it fast because it's just telling you some steps, but you're going to go to my website and grab it. So I don't have to go through all of this, because tell you how to apply for the jobs, my LinkedIn Hub blueprint, and how you must be focused and patient. And on the last page of that PDF, if you click, when you get the PDF, if you click here, it takes you right to YouTube, and you'll be able to watch winning job searching strategies to get the job. So I have that as a freebie for you for coming today on this program. I have this nice little document here. It is on my website. And as you see, my website is goalinspiredcareercoaching.com. Another thing that I wanted to announce today is that I have decided, because I want to help people and I cannot help everybody for free, I am going to, every Sunday or once a week, I am going to choose somebody who I will give a free 1 hour. A very senior career coach for an hour of their time is around $200 US. So when I do this, guys, I do this because I really want to help people. And the person who I'm choosing this week is called Rose Daisy. She's in my career club on Facebook, career advancement club on Facebook. And Rose, let me put Rose here. Her name is Rose Daisy. So I'm going to give Rose Daisy some free help. I think she was ready to pay, but I will give Rose some free help. And I want to help Rose in kind of clarifying her career to gain clarity so she can start looking. I think she's leaving Algonquin and she's a little bit, trying, just like everybody leaving school, you're trying to figure out your next move. So Rose Daisy is the winner because Facebook give me statistics. It's hard to do it on LinkedIn. So for Rose Daisy, I'm going to give you, I'm going to be talking to Rose to help her clarify. So I have Shivani was saying before that many don't know their worth, never even consider the role that aligns with their passions or innate abilities. Many job seekers tend to pursue employer that's simply hiring in an industry. I find most challenging part in helping others to job search is the first thing, the confidence and awareness it takes to find a career as opposed to a job. And I'm glad you said that. So I was just highlighting what my friend here, Shavani, was saying. Yes, it's hard because people are just looking for a job and they just figure, oh, I just want a job. No, guys, you can't do that. If you find a job, make it be a bridge job, right? Because you need the money right now, right? Make it be a bridge job because you have to work on the career. Because if you find a job today just for finding a job, I trust me, next month you'll be looking for a job. You don't want to go through the cycle. So plan your career, right? Gain the clarity so that you can do your dream career. Communicate so that you can communicate, right? And you can elevate. After you get the job, right now, I can't even help people to elevate because some of them don't have a job, right? So in order to elevate when you have the job, that's what I would like to do. And as Rodney was saying, congratulations, Rose. I don't know if Rose is on the live right now. She might be streaming in from Facebook. And when you stream from Facebook, they don't show your name. And you stream from LinkedIn. LinkedIn's so awesome for this kind of stuff. When you stream from LinkedIn, it's very great. And also when you stream from YouTube, right, guys? So I just wanted to find out, guys, is there anybody here who is still confused about anything? Just drop me a comment so I can clarify before we go here. Anybody confused about anything? Anything? Anybody confused here? Just let me know, guys. I'm here for you. Let me know. Congratulations, Rose Daisy. Yes, we're going to work with Rose and to help her. I think she needs that too. Okay, so if there's any of you guys who want to join, let me just grab on the banners. As I tell you, I'm running solo, okay? Who wants to join my career club, my career advancement. There's another one on Facebook, but I am Career Advancement Club on Facebook. Right? That is my website, goalinspirecareercoaching.com, Facebook exclusive group. It's called the Career Advancement Club on Facebook. If you're LinkedIn, follow my hashtag because it keeps all my content in one place, right? Follow my hashtag on LinkedIn. LinkedIn hashtag Goal Inspired Career Coaching. Right? Okay, so guys, I want to I want you to let me know, guys. As you can see, I do a lot of music. I start my stream with music and I love to end with music too. So I'm not end yet, but I just want to if you want to have a party, burst out the popcorn and let me know what you want to talk about next week. Right? What do you want to talk? What would you like to talk about next week? Somebody said last week they wanted to talk about this topic that we did today, right? So let me know what you'd like to talk about next week. Okay. So Shavoni wants to talk about ATS next week, and I'm going to explain ATS in detail next week. Then I'll talk about that because, as you know, there's a lot of stuff on LinkedIn about ATS on YouTube that is wrong. There are a couple people on LinkedIn who are very good at explaining the ATS. We'll also explain the ATS because who is better to explain it than somebody who has used it for 15 years? All right, and how you make sure your resume is ATS friendly. We talked about that last week about how you were to optimize the resume, but it's just optimizing it, and I will probably walk you through a little bit of that. And we talk about ATS. Okay, who wants to talk about ATS? Rodney, you want to talk about ATS? I prefer when you guys tell me what to talk about because you know why? I might think that you want to hear something and you don't want to hear it. Okay. So if you want to talk about ATS next week, you can. So for those who don't know what the ATS means, it's an applicant tracking system, which is a big database. So we are going to talk about how that works. And as a matter of fact, I will also do a presentation on how, for example, one of them is called Bullhorn, which is the one that I was familiar with. There's a lot of stuff that I can explain to you right on here. I will just show you right on here in a webinar. By the time you leave here, you will know everything about the ATS. And tell your friends if they want to see how the ATS works, tune in next week at 6 o'clock, Tuesday. We are going to talk ATS.